Okay, guys, we're here with our defensive coordinator, Peter Sirmon. I think you guys know the routine, so go ahead and let me know in the chat, and I'll call on you. We'll go ahead and start with Jeff Ferrato.
Hey, good morning, Peter. How you doing?
Good morning. Thanks. How are you?
I'm okay. I wonder if you could just talk a little bit about the progress of your D-line. You obviously had a couple of guys not return that you expected, so maybe you're a little thinner there, at least among the veterans. I wonder if you could just talk about how the two Johnsons are doing. Also, who's jumping out among the freshmen that you're impressed with so far?
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. The development of the defensive line. Ziande is. We've had a kind of discussion about Z before. Very, very important part of what we're doing defensively, from the leadership, from the talent, from the experience, and I think he's right now is playing as well as I've personally seen him in the last few years, and he has a good mastery of what we're asking him to do, and you see the continued development of him leading some of the other younger players along with him, and the other Johnson, Brett, inexperienced player, from the standpoint of the technique, and where you've seen him develop from where he was last year till now. He's made really great strides, and he has the physical tools. He's extremely strong at the point of attack, does some things naturally with leverage and with his hands that just get you really excited, and he's continuing to take those steps and understanding what surfaces mean, the back alignment mean, down and distance. So Z's a great resource for him, and we're really excited where Brett's coming along. Some of the younger guys that are making strides, I wouldn't throw JH as a younger guy, but JH Tevis is a guy that I don't want to overlook. He's been versatile for us. He's continuing to have a knack to get around the ball. I think he's slippery sometimes. He has a tendency of being able to defeat blocks and get off blocks and be disruptive. So he's a guy that is going to impact the rotation, and he's going to be in there giving us a lot of good snaps. The younger players, looking at Stanley and Ethan and Jaden and even Big Rick. They're all making their strides in different ways. This season is going to be unique. That I think every program is going to have to develop and rely on some of the younger players. Stanley is continuing to be strong at the point of attack. Ethan is making strides, playing a couple different positions of throughout practice when we have to move around a little bit, and he's strong and definitely athletic. And then Jaden's very strong at the point of attack. Really excited about what he's going to be.
Will Brett play primarily outside now, or will he play some still at nose guard? Or
the beauty of of those guys that have the versatility of be able to play a 3, a 4, a 5. Brett, I thought, showed that he can play inside, playing a 1 or a 0, even a G. So we'll continue to move those guys around. The versatility in which they have, depend on the situation. You could see them, really anywhere on the defensive line.
It sounds like you expect some of the true freshmen to be on the field on Saturdays.
We do, and as they continue to develop, they're going to provide much needed depth. Getting through, depends on how the game plays out in terms of the amount of snaps, the tempo in which we play, and some other factors that could go into what's going to happen. But we're preparing to play a lot of younger players.
Terrific. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to Shaylin Singh from the Daily Cow.
Hey, Coach. Ziande brought up a few minutes ago that when he's been watching Big Ten football or other conferences, tackling and technique have been a bit more sloppy than normal because of the restricted camp and things like that. Can you just talk about how the defense is doing in those type of aspects so far through camp?
Yeah, that's something that I think all of us that love watching football in general. That's something that is glaring in my opinion. Just some of the scores, some of the scoring plays that have resulted in any number of factors of tackling, which I think there's the approach part of tackles and there's the finish part of tackles. We are always stressing and always instructing and emphasizing the approach and the finish. But there are going to be times that you're not always capable, or it doesn't fit within the practice structure to go truly live to the ground. Yesterday we had some opportunities, which was awesome. We had a lot of live tackling yesterday in some controlled settings. So that was good for the defensive players, also good for the offensive players. It's ball security. It's, football is a pretty cool game when no one hits you. And then, when you start getting, people striking you and big people striking you, it changes the game a little bit. So we'll continue to coach effort to the ball, leverage, the buddy tackle system, in which we're always talking about finding your buddy. And then, some of it we're going to get some reps, and we're going to improve during the season as well, because of the abbreviated, time to prepare.
Awesome. Thank you. And then just to switch gears a little bit, can you talk about how Chiggy has developed into his role as a starting cornerback, and kind of just how he's improved since last season?
Yep. Chiggy is continuing to master, what we're asking him to do on the outside part of the field. It's like all players that are developing. They've had opportunities to watch more experienced players, and they take that experience. I think they internalize it, and then they try to apply it to how they play their game. And you can look up to players, but as a younger player, and you're looking up to some of the older, more experienced guys, you take some of their game, but then you have to make your own game, the skills and the temperament in which you play. So I think that's where he's continued to develop. And I'm excited for him to go out there and play consistent football snap after snap, because I know he's got the tools and the talent to do it. And now, the development is the consistency of making that happen every single day in practice and every single snap in the games.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to Trace Travers from Rivals.
Yeah, Coach, last week when we talked to you, you talked about Colin Gamble playing in the nickel role. I want to know what's kind of stood out about his skill set and how he's kind of made the jump for you guys early.
Yeah, Colin's been, another one of those, we've talked about some of the younger defensive line, guys that came into the program, but Colin's a guy that's really jumped out as well. He's very competitive. He's got some really, really good traits that are gonna, you're gonna see him, really kind of shine. He's got great quickness. He plays bigger than he is, and he's got some natural instincts. When he's playing in space, or some of the past concepts that young guys sometimes kind of fall victim to. He's doing a really nice job of showing a mastery of the distribution of routes and understanding of where they're trying to pull him out of, and fighting the urge to take the cheese.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, move on to Jim McGill at Barronsider.
Hey, Coach, can you talk about Evan Tattersall's progress and what kind of contribution you're expecting from him this season?
Yeah, when you asked about Chiggy, another guy that's in that same kind of role as Evan. He's had the opportunity to develop, to watch experienced players and experienced players play at a very high level. Evan is continuing to get that experience on the field. His athleticism, his change of direction, his straight line speed has never been of any concern. He really has great tools for that. It's going to be about the consistency, the very same thing we kind of talked about with Chiggy. It's the consistency of performance. It's doing what your eyes tell you to do, and it's starting to become comfortable with the anxiety of playing every snap. And I think part of that as a young player, it's you don't really understand the level of concentration that's necessary to be a consistent performer. And even sitting here talking about a consistent performer, it's like, yeah, it's no big deal. You just kind of do what you're supposed to do every time. Being exhausted, feeling uncomfortable, being in a stressful situation, playing things that maybe we haven't repped in practice. So they're new pictures that your mind is seeing, and being able to make decisions within the confines of the defense. think those are all things that inexperienced players have to come to grips with and have to have the maturity of not letting the game get big.
Thanks. And overall, how comfortable are you with the experience, or really the readiness of the defense to step up and be a strong performing unit this season?
Yeah, I'm very comfortable with the guys that have come back, that have played that have been with the program, that have played a substantial amount of time. I think we're all having some challenges in getting prepared, but I'm very comfortable with where we're going, and we still have to perform and play to our capacity. But I love the group of guys that we have. I feel really strongly about what they're capable of, and I'm excited to see them 8 or 9 days now to go out there and perform.
Thanks.
Okay, the final guy in the queue is Rusty Simmons from the Chronicle. If anybody else does have one, if you could put it in the chat now, that'd be great. Rusty?
Coach, this is probably an obvious one, but having the defense get a chance every day to go against Coach Musgrave and his offense, how much is that helping you guys on that side right now?
Yeah, I mean, Bill brings a lot to the table. He's got a wealth of knowledge, and he's been at the highest level, so he's got a lot of good thought process, on how to design things, how to undress things, how to get a good picture or a friendly picture for the quarterback. So it's great, and it's challenging to go against somebody with a lot of experience and a lot of talent. I think Bill's a very talented offensive coordinator, a very talented play caller. So every day going against him, it makes us better as well.
And this has probably been about a week now, but did you happen to see the DK Metcalf Buda Baker play, and any thoughts on that?
I saw a brief clip of it, and first of all, that's pretty gosh darn impressive. I was part of recruiting Buda up there when he was coming out of Bellevue when I was at the University of Washington, so I know the type of talent that he has. But it was great to see just a great effort on the football field, and typically efforts rewarded, and that was a really cool play to show young players, and I think those things are very valuable. I think sometimes you don't realize the effort that's necessary, and when you watch very talented players, you think that the talent and the gifts are so immense that they don't have to play hard. But when you watch guys play hard and strain, it's neat to see, and hopefully it inspires younger players to understand the level of competitiveness and level of effort that's necessary to be a winner.
Coach Wilcox was telling us about the Football 101 videos, clips that he puts together. How much impact did the assistant coaches have on that? Do you guys suggest clips as well? And what is the reaction from the players when they see those things?
Yeah, the Football 101 is a pretty collaborative effort. Any of us that are watching football games that we believe an educational play or an educational opportunity had presented itself, we have a huge video library of those. And then, some things, the more, the more recent it is, or a game that maybe all the guys were watching, or guys that, are involved in some kind of rivalry, which could be an NFL game or another college game. Those are great teachable moments. But the Football 101, I think, really speaks to the guys we have on our team. They love learning, and they love, how can we find an advantage? How can we find confidence in understanding the rules, understanding the application of the rules, and understanding how you can use the rules to our team's advantage to give us the better opportunity to win a game.
Thanks so much.
Okay, you guys, seeing nothing else, we'll let Coach Sirmon go. Appreciate your time, Coach.
Nice seeing everybody. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Coach.